A hero isn't born. They're forged in the fire of adversity. When the moment comes, they don't step back. They stand, they fight, not for glory, not for fame, but because something greater than themselves is on the line. Minnesota has never lacked heroes, ordinary men and women who found themselves in extraordinary circumstances, forced to make a choice, to rise or to fall, to surrender or to stand. These are their stories of courage, of conviction, of the battles that shaped a state, a people, and a legacy that still echoes today.
In the shadow of Fort Snelling, a man named Dred Scott walked the land, bound, yet dreaming of freedom, enslaved. But standing on free soil, he served an army doctor, never knowing his fight for justice would shake the foundation of a nation. When his enslaver died, Scott seized his moment, taking his battle to the courts, daring America to live up to its promise. His case would divide a country, but his courage would echo through history.
On Fort Snelling's high bluff, by the Mississippi's flow, Dred Scott served a doctor in lands of ice and snow. Minnesota's wilderness, a free land it should be, but chains of bondage held him far from liberty. Dred Scott, Dred Scott, your spirit's still alive today. When someone is oppressed, your memory lights the way. Stripped of your rights, a downright shameful sin, but it sparked the war for freedom, and freedom did win.
The doctor's life did end, a new master claimed his due. But Dred Scott stood his ground,
Said my freedom's overdue.
in the U.S. courthouse halls.
He made his righteous plea. I've lived on free soil, now justice set me free. Dred Scott, Dred Scott, your spirit's still alive today. When someone is oppressed, your memory lights the way. Stripped of your rights, a downright shameful sin, but it sparked a war for freedom, and freedom did win. The Missouri Compromise, a line drawn in the sand, said slaves brought north like Scott should be free in this land. But the highest court in the land said the state's laws didn't matter, denied his personhood, and put a stain on our nation's banner. Dred Scott, Dred Scott, your spirit's still alive today. When someone is oppressed, your memory lights the way. Stripped of your rights, a downright shameful sin, but it sparked the war for freedom, and freedom did win. From Minnehaha's Falls to Mancano's tragic square, the fight for human dignity echoed everywhere. Scott's courage lived live to see his dream of freedom won. His fight in Minnesota had only just begun. From Fort Snelling to Stillwater, his story still rings true. A testament to bravery for me and for you. So we remember Dred Scott's name in the land of sky blue waters. His struggle for equality for all sons and daughters. From the Mississippi's banks to the prairies stretching far, Dred Scott's spirit guides us still, like Minnesota's North Star. Freedom, and freedom did win. In the aftermath of the Dakota War of 1862, when vengeance swept through Minnesota, one voice rose above the anger: Bishop Henry Whipple. While others demanded blood, he demanded justice. Speaking for a people no one would hear, he stood before presidents, pleaded with the powerful, and risked everything to stop the mass execution of the Dakota. In a time of hatred, Whipple chose mercy, and his fight for humanity still reverberates today.
In the land of lakes and endless skies, where the eagle soars and the pine trees rise, a bishop stood with a heart so wide. For the broken and the wronged he wouldn't hide. From the Dakota plains to the courts of men, he raised his voice again and again. With a trembling hand he wrote the plea: spare their lives, let mercy be. He carried the cross through fire and storm, a beacon of light when the night was long. For justice and peace he stood so strong. Bishop Whipple's faith was a guiding song. When the war drums beat and the treaties lied, he saw the sorrow in the Dakota's eyes. He knelt in prayer, but his actions spoke. A warrior for love in a land that broke. To Lincoln's ear, his message flew: these men are not the evil you pursue. Though history marked him with disdain, he bore the weight of the cries and pain. He carried the cross through fire and storm, a beacon of light when the night was long. For justice and peace he stood so strong. Bishop Whipple's faith was a guiding song. Cathedrals of oak and rivers of stone, he prayed for a land that could atone for every soul, red, white, or gray. He dreamed of a dawn where love held sway. Now his spirit lingers on the breeze, in the rustling leaves and the whispering seas. A hero's tale in a troubled land, a man of faith with a gentle hand. So let us remember, let us Mills Cross.
In the year 1878, Hubbard Milling Company was established in Mankato. It became a significant part of the area's history, contributing to the local economy. Its flour brand, Mother Hubbard, became well known, and the mill played a vital role in the region's agriculture and industrial growth.
Mankato's heart by the river's bend, the Hubbard name became a friend. Building a mill with vision so clear, a beacon of hope year after year. Heroes of the land, their story untold, turning grain to dreams, their legacy bold. Farmers in the fields, the mills stood tall, their strength and vision inspiring us all. Worked from dawn to dusk with hands of steel and hearts of trust. The mill brought life to what they'd sown, feeding the dreams that helped us grow. Heroes of the land, their story untold, turning grain to dreams, their legacy bold. Farmers in the fields, the mill stood tall, their strength and visions inspiring us all. Through fires and trials, they stayed the course, their strength and spirit a mighty force. Farmers and millers, side by side, their bond of hope kept dreams alive. Heroes of the land, their story untold, turning grain to dreams, their legacy bold. Farmers in the fields, the mills stood tall, their strength and vision inspiring us all. When you're hungry, when you're down, come to the heart of this little town. Fill your cup, take a stand. Thank the farmers who fed this land. Heroes of the land, when you're hungry, their stories untold.
They stood up when the world was cold and bleak, for the ones who didn't have a voice to speak. They fought for justice, for what's right and fair. In every corner, they were always there. The heroes who stood for the less fortunate, the ones who never gave up, never hesitated, made our state great. Where the waters roll, in the land of 10,000 lakes, they saved our soul. Heroes of the land, heroes of the fight. They made our state shine, they brought the light. They're the ones who made it right, heroes of the land.
The circus rolled into Duluth a bright June day, with the laughter of a small town and crowds on display. But shadows fell where truth was denied, as a mob lit the flames of hate and pride.
Elias, Elmer, Isaac, names etched in shame,
Lynched by a crowd in justice's name. But in the darkest hour, a spark was born, a fight for truth against the storm. Never again in Duluth, they swore, let no man hang by a hate-fueled roar. From the blood on the streets to a law of light, heroes rose to fight the night. Nellie Francis, with courage and grace, took the pain of the past and made her case. Her pen was a sword, her voice a flame. She worked so no one else would know such shame. William stood firm in the courtroom's glare, defending the innocent, seeking what's fair. Together they fought for a law so clear that justice would triumph over fear. Never again in Duluth, they swore, let no man hang by a hate-fueled roar. From the blood on the streets to a law of light, heroes rose to fight the night. A nation watched in silence, some turned away, but the voices of the brave kept the mob at bay. Their courage lit a path, their story told, a stand for justice, a heart so bold. In the shadow of loss, a beacon was raised. Anti-lynching laws would honor the slain. Their lives were stolen, their dreams denied, but the fight for freedom would not subside. Never again in Duluth, they swore, let no man hang by a hate-fueled roar. From the blood on the streets to a law of light, heroes rose to fight the night. Elias, Elmer, Isaac, your story lives on in every voice that speaks for the wronged. Nellie and William, your courage profound ensured that hate would never again surround. Never again in Duluth, they swore, let love and justice close that door. Heroes rust as close that door.
In '87 it happened on a crisp October night. The Metrodome was glowing with electric light. Tom Kelly at the helm with the plan and the dream led our boys to glory, made them a winning team. From underdogs to champions, they turned it all around. Loserville to Titletown, now forever crowned. With Kirby, Kent, and Viola, they played until the dawn. The day the twins brought victory, our legend carries on. Kirby Puckett's smile, a his love, so quick and ever sure. Minnesota's heroes, their legacy secure. From underdogs to champions, they turn it all around. Loserville to Titletown, now forever crowned. With Kirby, Kent, and Viola, they played until the dawn. The day the Twins brought victory, our legend carries on. From Aurora, Minnesota, that shook the dome that night. Every pitch and every hit filled us with delight. Ladders, grand slam soaring, a moment frozen in time. The Cardinals faltered as our stars aligned. The right Viola on the mound, his curveball tight and true, pitched us into history as champions anew. In the land of 10,000 lakes, a legend was born. The Twins rose up triumphant on that fateful morn. From underdogs to champions, they turned it all around. Loserville to Titletown, now forever crowned. With Kirby, Kent, and Viola, they played until the dawn. The day the Twins brought victory, our legend carries on. So here's to 87, to that team so brave and bold. Their story etched forever in Minnesota gold. From Loserville to Titletown, the transformation complete. The Twins are pride eternal, made victory so sweet. From underdogs to champions, they turned it all around. Loserville to Titletown, now forever crowned. With Kirby, Kent, and Viola, they played until the dawn. The day the Twins brought victory, our legend carries on. The roar of Minnesota that shook the dome that night. Every pitch and every hit filled us with delight. Credence grand slam soaring, a moment frozen in time. The Cardinals faltered as our stars aligned. Run Viola on the mound, his curveball tight and true, pitched us into history as champions anew. In the land of 10,000 lakes, a legend was born. The Twins rose up triumphant on that fateful morn. So here's to 87, to that team so brave and bold. Their story etched forever in Minnesota gold. From Loserville to Titletown, a transformation complete. The Twins are pride eternal, made victory so sweet.
Tola was driving, the night gripped by fear. Flames erupted ahead, danger was near. Sam Orbovich trapped in his car, his world turned to despair. But strangers ran forward, unbound by the fear. A crackling blaze, the air thick with dread, but courage burned brighter where most would have fled. They didn't pause, didn't think to walk away. Strangers united to hold the flames at bay. With hands and hearts, they shattered fear's array, proving the strength of compassion remains. Dave Klepider arrived, tools ready in hand. A window punch struck glass like a hero's command. Tessa joined the effort, her resolve steady. Together they freed him, their courage unrelenting. The but unity triumphed, fueled by a stranger's tears. They didn't pause, didn't think to walk away. Strangers united to hold the flames at bay. With hands and hearts, they shattered fear's array, proving the strength of compassion remains. No ties that bound them, no promises sworn, just a moment of selflessness through fire reborn. Sam's words echo, his gratitude sincere. For those who saved me, I hold you dear. So when darkness falls and danger is near, remember the courage of those who persevere, running toward the flames with no glory to gain. They showed us all how love can sustain. Didn't pause, didn't think to walk away. Strangers united to hold the flames at bay. With hands and hearts, they shattered fear's reign, proving the strength of compassion remains. Proving the strength of compassion remains.
There must be some way out of here, said the man from Bloomington, as terror reigned on Flight 93. Tom Burnett knew what must be done. His voice rang out through static clouds. We're going to do something, he vowed. A quiet hero, a husband and dad, prepared to stand up to the bad. All along the flight path, ashen clouds unfurled. All along the flight path, Burnett's bravery shine through the world. The black box played his rallying cry, as down in flames they'd soon fly. Let's roll, he said, to make their stand against the brutality at hand. His parents wept at that fierce voice, a son embodying courage by choice, to save the White House Pentagon too, from evil achieving its venture through. All along the flight path, ashen clouds unfurled. All along the flight path, Burnett's bravery shine through the world. They crashed in Shanksville, not by plan. Average folks turned superhuman. Tom met his fate with fury unbowed, his last words still echoing loud. We're gonna do something rang true on that cloudless September day's blue. When darkness fell, he refused to cower, a watchman on freedom's highest tower. All along the flight path, ashen clouds unfurled. All along the flight path,
world. From Bloomington to that Shanksville soil, a Minnesota son's courage and toil won't be forgot as watch is kept by those he loved, those who wept. From Bloomington to that Shanksville soil, a Minnesota son's courage and toil won't be forgot as watch is kept by those he loved, those who wept. All along the flight path, ashen clouds unfurled. All along the flight path, Burnett's bravery shine through the world. From Bloomington to that Shanksville soil, a Minnesota son's courage and toil won't be forgot as watch is kept by those he loved, those who wept.
In the shadows of the skyline, where the cold wind bites the soul, she walks with open arms, where broken hearts take their toll. With a smile like a beacon, and hands that never tire, she lifts the fallen spirits and sparks a holy fire. She's the light in the darkness, a hope for those in need, a saint of the city, planting love like a seed. Where despair finds no answer, her kindness takes the lead. Mary Jo, the heart of hope, the angel of good deeds. Mary Jo, through the halls of sharing hands, where the weary find their rest, she turns the pain of many into moments they feel blessed. A prayer upon her whisper, a meal upon her plate. Her faith moves mountains daily, her love will never wait. She's the light in the darkness, a hope for those in need, a saint of the city, planting love like a seed. Where despair finds no answer, her kindness takes the lead. Mary Jo, the heart of hope, the angel of good deeds. Mary Jo, when the world feels forgotten and the streets have lost their grace, she shows them there's a future in the warmth of her embrace. Through every tear and every trial, she stands so strong and true, a shelter for the lost. She makes the skies turn blue. She's the light in the darkness, a hope for those in need, a saint of the city, planting love like a seed. Where despair finds no answer, her kindness takes the lead. Mary Jo, the heart of hope, the angel of good deeds. Mary Jo, Mary Jo in the city's darkest corners, where the world might look away, her hands keep building bridges, and her light will always stay. Saint of the city, a name the angels know. Mary Jo, a love that helps us grow. Sharing and caring hands in Mary's place, she fills the streets of the city with God's holy grace. In the city's darkest corners, where good deeds. She just loved to golf every day and every night. A red-haired girl took to the green with all her might. She just loved to golf every day and every night. They told her to stay home, to marry and conform, but Patty Bird just defied the norm. Turned the future of women's golf into something bright. They called her dynamite. She's the spark breaking every mold. With every swing, every win, her stories go. In the fight for women's rights, Patty's story shines so bright. That's why the press nicknamed her Dynamite. Dynamite, Dynamite. In 46 she made history, leading the way, winning the first U.S. Women's Open, changing the play. From title holders to Western Open, she blazed a trail. Minneapolis' own Dynamite, she would not fail. It's just my destiny was all she had to say. They called her Dynamite. She's the spark breaking every mold. With every swing, every win, her stories go. In the fight for women's rights, Patty's story shines so bright. That's why the press nicknamed her Dynamite. Dynamite, Dynamite. Through the war she served with honor and grace, then back to her hometown Greece to reclaim her place. She founded the LPGA, the first president with pride, leading the charge with Dynamite by her side. They said the course was no place for women to compete, but Patty proved them wrong with every victory sweep. With courage and passion, she shattered the glass. Minneapolis Dynamite, first and foremost in her class. A champion from her head down to her feet. They called her Dynamite. She's the spark breaking every mold. With every swing, every win, her stories bold. In the fight for women's rights, Patty's story shines so bright. That's why the press nicknamed her Dynamite. Dynamite, Dynamite. From the Hall of Fame to every friend she made, her legacy of strength will never fade. Shake a hand, make a friend, she'd always recite. Minneapolis' own Patty Bird, forever Dynamite. They called her Dynamite. She's the spark breaking every mold. With every swing, every win, her stories bold. In the fight for women's rights, Patty's story shines so bright. That's why the press nicknamed her Dynamite.
By the banks of the Mississippi,
In the heart of the Twin Cities lies a team in purple with dreams and aspirations so pretty. But the years roll by and the heartbreaks never rest. It's the story of the Vikings, our playoff quest. So take me out to the Dome or US Bank if you please. Show me those highlights of our rare victories. Let me hear the roar of the crowd, the Skull chant loud and clear. For the Vikings, oh the Vikings, another disappointing year. From Tarkenton to Culpeper, to Cousins and beyond, we've had our share of heroes in whom we grew so fond. But when January comes and the stakes are raised so high, it seems our dreams get shattered underneath that winter sky. So take me out to the Dome or US Bank if you please. Show me those highlights of our rare victories. Let me hear the roar of the crowd, the Skull chant loud and clear. For the Vikings, oh the Vikings, another disappointing year. I've seen the Hail Mary and the 41 donut day, the missed field goals and chances slipping away. But still I wear my purple and cheer them on each fall, hoping that someday soon we'll answer that Super Bowl call. Oh, the stories we could tell of games we almost won, the miracle in Minneapolis where victory just begun. But as the seasons fade and the snow begins to fall, we find ourselves lamenting that we've never won it all. So take me out to the Dome or US Bank if you please. Show me those highlights of our rare victories. Let me hear the roar of the crowd, the Skull chant loud and clear. For the Vikings, oh the Vikings, another disappointing year. When my time has come and I've cheered my final cheer, remember me in purple with a Viking horn near. And as they lay me down in that Minnesota snow, I'll dream of Lombardy and the ring we've yet to know. So take me out to the Dome or US Bank if you please. Show me those highlights of our rare victories. Let me hear the roar of the crowd, the Skull chant loud and clear. For the Vikings, oh the Vikings, another disappointing year. So take me out to the Dome or US Bank if you please. Show me those highlights of our rare victories. Let me hear the roar of the crowd, the Skull chant loud and clear. For the Vikings, oh the Vikings, another disappointing year.
In the quiet town of St. Clair, where the prairies roll so free, a harness maker worked his trade, shaping dreams from leather and trees. August Ringling had a spark, a vision yet unseen. In the heart of Minnesota, he sowed a circus dream. From the fields of St. Clair to the big top's grand display, the spirit of a harness maker paved the brothers' way. With a dream of joy and wonder that began so small, Minnesota Whispers carried the greatest show of all. He moved on to McGregor, but his roots stayed in the clay, where the winds of St. Clair whispered hope each day. To his sons he taught the trade, hard work and daring hearts. And from that little harness shop they built their circus art. From the fields of St. Clair to the big top's grand display, the spirit of a harness maker paved the brothers' way. With the dream of joy and wonder that began so small, Minnesota Whispers carried the greatest show of all. wheels of wagons turned as the tents rose to the sky. The call of lions roared and trapeze dancers flew high. But it all began in the silence where the prairie grasses lean. A harness maker's humble hands laid the foundation of a dream. Now the ringling names in lights, a legend known worldwide. But the echoes of St. Clair remain their unseen guide. August's story lives today in the laughter and the cheer, a harness maker's legacy that the world still holds dear. From the fields of St. Clair to the big top's grand display, the spirit of a harness maker paved the brothers' way. With the dream of joy and wonder that began so small, Minnesota whispers carried the greatest show of all. So here's to August Ringling and the seeds of what became a Minnesota craftsman who left a lasting name. In the town of St. Clair, his story still takes flight in the greatest show on earth beneath the circus lights.
The heroes of Minnesota, champions of the underdog. Then there was a man of the people who lost his life way too soon. Paul Wellstone. From the fields of Northfield to the Senate floor, he stood with the people, he fought for the poor. A voice for the workers, the ones left behind. He carried their struggles and held their place in line. He walked the talk, he stood his ground. Through every battle, he never backed down. He was a fighter, he was a friend, a man of the people, right to the end. Through every struggle, he took a stand. Paul Wellstone, champion of the common man. He stood for the weary, the lost and the weak, for justice and labor, for rights we all seek. He called out the mighty, he challenged the throne, a champion standing but never alone. He walked the talk, he stood his ground. Through every battle, he never backed down. He was a fighter, he was a friend, a man of the people, right to the end. Through every struggle, he took a stand. Paul Wellstone, champion of the common man. That October morning, the cold winds cried. A hero was taken, but hope never died. Though the wreckage was heavy, his light still shines. In the hearts of the many, his voice won't decline. He was a fighter, he was a friend, a man of the people,
In 53, a brave few stood tall. Parents at Mount Olivet answering the call. No summer camp for their special ones. They said, we'll build it ourselves, daughters and sons. They were the few who made America famous. Mount Olivet, rolling acres against every gale. Like firemen who dared to go alone, they fought for dignity, a place called home. They faced a world where worth was weighed. Developmentally disabled, often betrayed. But these heroes knew a different truth. In every heart they saw potential youth. They were the few who made America famous. Mount Olivet, rolling acres, where they belong. Heroes for inclusion against the tide. They built a haven, love as their guide. Years rolled by, their vision grew. From summer camps to homes anew. Adaptive spaces, love's embrace. For every child, a sacred place. Through struggles fierce, they held their ground. Their love a beacon profound. In the Twin Cities' heart, their stories spread. Heroes for inclusion, where others had dread. They were the few who made America famous. Mount Olivet, rolling acres, they never tired. Champions for justice in every way. They showed the world a brighter day. MMHC's legacy rises higher. Heroes in every sense of the word. For every voice they stood, they heard.
And then there was a war no one wanted. Vietnam. Beyond the call. The vets who sacrificed their service. All Vietnam vets. Vietnam vets. What are their names? In the jungles of Vietnam, courage took a stand. Michael Blanchfield gave his life for his band. He earned the Medal of Honor for his sacrifice that day. A hero from Minnesota who showed us the way. Beyond the call, beyond all fear, when others turn, they volunteered. Blanchfield, Olsen, Pruden, and Warren gave their all to answer their nation's highest call. Kenneth Olsen, with a healer's heart so brave, shielded his brothers, his own life he gave. For his valor and love, the medal he wore, Minnesota remembers forevermore. Beyond the call, beyond all fear, when others turn, they volunteer. Blanchfield, Olsen, Pruden, and Waring gave their all to answer. Dale Lyden saved his brothers in strife by laying down his one precious life. Robert Pruden led, unyielding in the fight, earning his place in freedom's light. Beyond the call, beyond all fear, when others turn, they volunteered. Blanchfield, Olsen, Pruden, and Waringen gave their all to answer their nation's highest call. Those 4 men never came home, but one Minnesota Medal of Honor winner did. Gallantly rescuing his comrades, and 11 days later captured, spending the remainder of his time there as a prisoner of war. Leo Thorsness, from Walnut Grove to Vietnam skies, an F-105 Thunder would rise. April 6, 67 spring, when valor made an eagle's wing. Low on fuel, but high on heart, Leo wouldn't let them fall apart. Though meat swarmed like angry bees, he'd save those men beyond the trees. 2 airmen down in hostile ground, rescue choppers circling round. Though his tanks ran nearly dry, he turned to face the enemy's cry. Greenies fell from his deadly aim, 2 more fled in smoking shame. The thought of self, no thought of home, just brothers lost in fields to roam. 11 days of freedom more, till captured on a distant shore. 6 years in Hanoi's prison chain, his spirit free despite the pain. Beyond the call, through fire and rain, they bore the scars, they felt the pain. When heroes rose, the world stood still. No parades, no crowd, just an empty hill. Through the rice fields, where the shadows lay, they fought through hell so far away. A medal of honor, a nation's pride, but no one cheered as they walked outside. Beyond the call, through fire and rain, they bore the scars, they felt the pain. When heroes rose, the world stood still. No parades, no crowd, just an empty hill. Forsness stood where few would tread, with courage forged where shadows spread. The others fell